Hi, everyone. This is Susan Farnham. I'm the Youth Services Manager at the Forest Park Public Library, and I'm here with some representatives from Best Step Tutoring to talk all about the services they offer. This was a really cool service that I had heard about recently, and I know there's an interest in tutoring and homework help out in the community, so I wanted to make sure we showcase this and let people know what was out there. So just to get started, could you both tell us a little bit about yourselves and your connection with BESEP?
Okay, so my name is Victoria, and I am an incoming freshman at the University of Illinois in Urbana. I am the secretary of this organization, and I've been working with them for over a year.
And yeah, my name's Annie. I am going into my freshman year at University of Iowa for music, and I'm the recruitment director at Best Step. Started as a tutor in August, but in January I joined their team pretty much as a recruitment director. I help out with things like this, reaching out to libraries, to youth organizations, etc.
Fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the backstory of Best Step. How did this get started?
So we started our organization about a year ago. The president slash founder, Rachel Delmar, she's actually one of our friends. At the start of quarantine, she kind of noticed that a lot of students were struggling academically, especially adapting to a virtual learning environment. And she wanted to help. So she reached out to a couple of people and formed a team. And actually, our first name was COVID Catch Up Tutors because we thought it would be something just for virtual learning. But as our organization grew, we wanted to continue expanding. And so we've been working on it ever since, I think, May of 2020.
Yeah.
Excellent. What subjects are you currently covering and what ages or grades do you serve right now?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We actually pride ourselves on our range of ages. So for students, we usually have anything from pre-K to 12th grade, so that's senior year of high school. And then for tutors, our youngest tutors are like 8th grade, but they specialize in younger kids. And then our average is like somewhere in high school, or we also have a couple college tutors as well. Um, and in terms of, oh yeah, and students are able to request any subjects, and we match them to tutors. And so we make sure that the age range kind of matches with the subject they're tutoring, so that we get the best resources we can for the student.
I'm sure that is really appreciated by your clients. At this time, would you say you have any specialty subjects?
Yeah, so our subjects, we have a couple unique ones. The biggest one is like Mandarin. That usually doesn't, you don't really have tutors for Mandarin out here. But yeah, we have like Spanish, French, all those languages, and then Mandarin's one. But besides like subjects specifically, we have a couple of specialty sessions that we provide. And this is a great time to talk about it because it actually happens in the summer. We have a couple SAT review sessions for our high school age students. And then for younger students, we have storytime read alouds, and that goes from preschool to 5th grade. So we have two sessions. They're all virtual. Preschool to 1st grade is usually children's books, and then 2nd to 5th grade, you start having critical thinking discussions about chapter books. And then for our high school age grade as well, we have college and career exploration sessions just to get familiar with the majors that are out there and start planning for secondary education. And sometimes we even have special guests such as alumni or college students, college admissions counselors, or teachers.
And just like adding on to that, some of the special like ones that we have is that we have a college essay like advice session, and then later on we have a pure editing college one. So students are able to submit their essays to these sessions, and a bunch of different like students from different colleges look over and give advice on how to improve their essay for their college applications.
Yeah.
That's amazing feedback. That's really great that you have those connections. What would you say are your most popular services or requests right now?
Yeah, so I think if you can imagine, it's usually like language arts, reading, writing, and then math, because that's pretty much everyone has those core classes. So yeah, I'd say reading and writing, whether that's essay writing, like we mentioned, or reading comprehension, working on uh, ACT type multiple choice questions, or math, which goes from like basic addition and subtraction all the way to like calculus, AP stats, all that stuff.
And what languages do you currently support right now with the program?
Yeah, like I mentioned, we have Spanish, I think we have French, German, an Italian, and then Mandarin. And whenever we don't have something that a student needs, we actively seek out tutors that are experts on that subject. So for example, if we didn't have German, for example, we would use the outreach and recruitment directors to help find tutors who are confident in those areas to give the students what they need.
I have to admit, I'm really impressed with your networking and just general outreach system that you have going on. I know you currently serve communities across the country, and I think I saw somewhere even other countries as well. How do you build such a wide network of tutors support the program? What's that process like?
So a really helpful thing has been social media. We have an amazing media director. Her name's Amelia Lynn, and she creates content on all types of platforms. We have a Twitter, an Instagram, and a TikTok. And so through there, we're able to reach potential students and tutors and to show them what services we provide and what they can get from us. And after that, once people see what we can provide through our social media, they'll sign up on our website, and we put them through a selection process to ensure that like they are who they say they are and they are as qualified as we need them to be to make sure that they are that we're providing safe and also quality sessions for our students.
What do you feel sets you apart from other tutoring or homework help programs out there?
Well, Best Step Tutoring is really unique because, like we said, it started in the COVID era. And so, right off the bat, we were 100% virtual because that's all you could do at the time. And speaking of networking, I think the fact that we are virtual gives so much more flexibility for students, for both students and tutors, because you can start and stop sessions at any time for as long as you need. And then tutors are also actually given resources from our Best Step Tutoring team to guide them on their sessions and lesson planning so they aren't alone in trying to figure out how to teach this student fourth grade math. Like you get a handbook, almost a digital resource packet that has a bunch of files, a bunch of websites that have links to certain PDFs, etc. So we're really flexible in giving the resources that both our students and tutors need.
How are you able to keep your services free?
So we can run completely on volunteer work and we use free online resources. Everything that we do is accessible to the public, but we're also currently in the process of becoming an official nonprofit so that we can fundraise to receive more exclusive services for our students and tutors.
That is amazing. As you move forward in that process, we would love to hear about that and to hear how that's going. It's really amazing the amount of resources and help that you are offering, being able to keep it free. So fingers crossed that, and good luck with all of that, because I think that's really amazing, and I'm sure your clients appreciate it. How are your clients able to give feedback if they have a particularly good experience or something like that?
Yeah, so we're all about feedback. That's how we adjust our curriculum. That's how we make sure things are running safe and smoothly. And the fact that we're virtual, I know I keep mentioning that, but Google has a lot of good things. So Google Feedback Forms is our best friend. Students and their parents can give feedback after each session about the quality of the experience, what they were working on, if there were any technical issues, just kind of logistical things like that. And then tutors do the same thing. Like that's also how we track community service hours, actually. Now that I'm mentioning that, feedback forms are a way for us to track how many hours the tutor is getting, what they're working on, and if the session is working out based on like attitude and behavior of the student. Sometimes we run into issues like that that we have to work on. And then like time management with their schedules. Any problems is usually your feedback form. And if that doesn't work, we always have direct emails. Our inbox is always open for our tutors and students to talk about problems or issues they might be having. And then we also recently got a new website, beststeptutoring.org, and there's a live chat feature on the website. And so if there's any questions related to the website, you can just type it on there while you're on there, which is convenient. So.
Fantastic. And we'll make sure when we post this video to include a card at the end with your website URL on there and any contact information you want to share. We can go ahead and include that right at the end so everyone has it right up front and center for them. Now, without giving any names, because I'm sure you want to protect the privacy of your clients and everything, but do you have any success stories, anecdotes, or like especially great positive feedback that you've received that you wanted to share?
So there's a lot of experiences that come to mind when thinking about these types of interactions between our students and tutors. But one that I actually saw from a feedback form the other day is that a student was experiencing a personal loss at home and they're kind of having a bit of a rough day and they still went to their tutoring session. And then after that, the parent had written on the feedback form that the student was sad initially, but by the end of the session, the student had a smile on their face because they really had a fun time with their tutor and they were able to take their mind off things.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I think that's what's so unique about Best Step Tutoring is it's not only just academic help, but it's also kind of like a mentorship. And so our tutors are have a bond with their students. And like I know from personal experience, I talk to my student about like Harry Potter. Like we're a bit too big Harry Potter nerds, so we talk about the books, we talk about the movies. I even incorporate it in my lessons sometimes. And so I think it's really great to have an organization that helps not only with academic success, but like mental health success and student success and well-being. I think that's a really great aspect of this organization.
That's amazing. I think that's just really meaningful having that extra kind of social emotional piece on there. What is the best way someone can get involved if they are interested in acquiring a tutor from Best Step Tutoring?
So it's really just as simple as going to our website and clicking the register tab. You just have to fill out some basic information as to what you're looking for in a tutor or what you're looking for to sign up as a student. And after that, there's a matching and selection period. And that's how the process goes.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything goes through your email.
So easy and streamlined. I know people love that. So thank you so much. Like I said, I'm going to add a card at the end of this recording that has the contact information and the URL for your website, your brand new website with the live chat at Best Step Tutoring. So thank you so much for sharing your time. I think this is a wonderful service that you're offering, and I can't wait to share it with our community. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.